Hey YouTube, this is Ryan making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button and also please consider subscribing as it is very much appreciated. This is my overview of the Boker Plus Rhino Stag handle version. This is made, it's made by Boker Plus, but it is from the Voxknives, who make a custom version of it. And Boker has made a production version of it. I'm not sure what custom knife it's based on. I couldn't find out which it is, but they've made a production version of it. And I bought this several years ago. A good friend of mine on the now defunct Urban Bunker got me onto it, and I really liked the design, and so he bought a couple of them. He bought one for himself and then asked me if I wanted one, and I jumped on it because I thought it was an unusual design, and I really liked the Stag version. They do actually make a micarta version as well, but I like Stag handled knives. I didn't have one in my collection, and so I thought I'd buy this one. They are inexpensive knives, and for the life of me, I cannot remember how much I paid for it, but I know it was under $100. $60 is sticking in my mind. I think they were around the $60 Aussie. So, but don't quote me on that. I really honestly can't remember how much money I paid for it. It wasn't a great deal of money, but they are very, very good value for money. Anyway, I'll stick all the stats for the knife, as per usual, down in the description bar, and go on to the overview. This is a utility knife, and it is keyed towards EDC. So I live in Australia. We cannot EDC fixed blade knives except in very well-defined situations, mainly when we are camping, hunting, out in the bush, or maybe sometimes when you're in a barbecue situation at a park. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But in a barbecue situation, in a park, you're allowed to have fixed blade knives. But usually most people have kitchen knives and whatnot. You can usually get away with having a fixed blade knife on when you're like bushwalking and whatnot. But most people in Australia tend to, if they're doing that, if they're in bushwalking, they'll keep a fixed blade knife in their pack, hidden away from view, because the sheeple in Australia, they see a weapon and they view knives as weapons. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, knives versus, like, weapons versus tools. If they see you with a belt knife on, at best you'll get strange looks most of the time. At worst, they'll call the coppers on you. Even though you are legally usually allowed to have a fixed blade knife on in that pursuit, like you're out in the bush, bushwalking or whatever. Well, this is my camp carry knife. It's small, and if you notice, it's got a little clip. I can put this on any type of, I don't need a belt or whatever. I can clip it on, hide it under my shirt. No one knows I'm carrying it. Basically, it just melts away. So that's why I bought this knife. I can carry it in a park. People around me don't know I have it on me. And so I don't scare people with it. So this is what I carry in a a camping situation where there are a lot of people around. These days, where I go camping, most of the time there are a lot of normal people around. So this is my camping knife. I'll have pocket knives on. I'm allowed to have pocket knives when I'm camping. I'll have pocket knives on, but for a fixed blade, this is what I carry. So it is a utility EDC knife, single-edged, fixed blade, full tang, with Stag handles, with red liners. It's a numbered version. Mine and the numbers, if you can, I don't know if you'll actually pick it up. The lighting won't allow it up. But it is a numbered version, and it is 0603, my number. There is a little bit of billboarding, Boker Plus, the Voxknives symbol there, and the blade steel's 12C27. Features a hollow grind with a modified sheath foot blade. I'd say that's what that blade is. A full look around the knife. Nice Stag handles. Red line is a really, really classy touch. I like this. And the Stag looks really good. A couple of silver pins. Nice hollow grind. Polished on the flats here. Satin finish on the hollow. Good bit of belly. There it is in the hammer grip. But your hand, I automatically go into a saber grip. I added the lanyard because I'd only get 3 fingers on it. With that box lanyard, gives me a full 4 grip then. And when you go onto the saber hold, I get very good control of the knife. As you can see, it's quite sharp. Laser curls on paper. Phone book paper, it just curls up. No dramas at all. And I find this shape of blade is really good for utility, like cutting, food prep, that sort of thing. That's why I use it for what I do. This is my camp carry knife, or my fixed blade carry when I need a discreet carry that I can fit under my shirt and clip onto any sort of pants. I don't need a belt because of the way they've designed that clip. It's just those. It'll slip onto anything or onto a belt. Used at barbecues and such when I'm legally allowed to carry a fixed blade knife. And in Australia, I do go on about the fact that I'm not allowed to carry knives usually, but there are instances where I can carry them legally. But you just have to know when you legally can, and in certain circumstances, you are legally allowed to. Out hunting, most certainly, and I do. Where I legally can carry them, I do. I go out hunting, I'll have 3 or 4 knives on me. I usually go a little bit overboard because I am restricted in my carry, so I tend to go a bit tool heavy. So I'll have 2 or 3 belt knives on, or at least 2 on, and several pocket knives. But I tend to overcompensate because that's just because I'm restricted in my day-to-day life. So I tend to overcompensate when I can carry them legally. And it's a handsome piece. Like, I love the Stag and the way they've done it. And it's just a nice looking piece to me. It's an unusual piece too, so that's why I bought it. I actually like it a lot better than the micarta. And the micarta has the red, I'm pretty sure it's got the red liners too, but I prefer the Stag handle version. They do offer two sets of two different types of sheaths. The leather version, as you can see, I've had it for a while. I've had this knife for several years now, and the leather's starting to wear. And as you can see, it does. If you don't put it in right, you start to chew this up. But they do come with there's another option of a kydex sheath. The kydex sheath probably would be a better version, more durable, but I think stag and leather is a more traditional look. But I opted for this one, and I don't know whether the micarta could come with this kydex too. That could be the other option, but this is how it came with me. Anyway, well, that's what it does. So the pros for this knife is it's a non-offensive small knife. Most people, when you pull this out, they're not going to be scared by a 3-inch bladed fixed blade. It's not, and it's not pointy and it's not tactical looking. Stag-handled knives tend to be. It's not all black and that. It looks very old school, like old traditional. You know, it's a non-offensive knife, and it's perfectly suited to that, to small EDC tasks that that you're going to do, food prep and that sort of thing. And that's what I use it for. For camp duty and small tasks. It's not a big knife, so you're not going to do a lot of big cutting tasks for it. But that's exactly what I use it for, and it's a really good little cutter, for what I use it for, and that's why I got it, and I use it for that. And the cons, I honestly can't really see any. It's a good little performer. It's the 12C 27 steel's good, nice stainless steel. Holds an edge reasonably well. Takes a keen edge. It's quite sharp. I like the hollow grind. It's not a deep hollow grind, but it is quite a good. Show you around the knife completely. It's it does exactly what I want it to do. Nice discreet carry when I'm legally allowed to carry it. It's just an unusual little knife and well worth the money I paid for it. I just wish I could remember how much I paid for it, honestly. It wasn't a lot of money, like $50, $60, maybe $70. I think it was about $60-something landed here in Australia. But Boker it's the Boker Plus, so they make a good knife, like fit and finish is really good. It's everything's really well done on it. I like the Stag. It's really nice. It's very well done. The red liners set it off really well. These are made in China. So if you've got an aversion to that, well, it's probably not the knife for you. But yeah, there's the bit of billboarding. It does have a little bit of billboarding, but most knives do have some billboarding on it. Nice finish on the blade. They've got the polish here on the flats and then the satin, brushed satin in the hollow. And that blade shape is good for the task that I use it for. But overall, a good solid design. If you're into these types of knives, and as I said, once you go up into the saber grip, you've got lots of control. It's and it cuts really well. But just an unusual little knife that's very carryable. Anyway, that's just another My videos seem to be going a little bit longer than I usually do, but yeah, that's the Boker Plus Rhino Stag handle version. My overview of it. Anyway, thanks for watching.